Like, don't be that guy. Also, what is with the Maggies? Why do we got Maggies? Speaking of poop socks. Speaking of poop socks. Oh, no! I knew this was going to happen. Not like this. So, welcome back, everyone. The camera is probably going to be borked tonight because I was streaming through Discord and I had my camera on. And then I started the stream, and it no longer can recognize the camera unless I restart the stream, and I just don't feel like restarting the stream. So we're going to go camera-less tonight. That's going to make some of the scene transitions look a little awkward. So the game scene will be fine. Apparently we got a subscriber yesterday. No, what is... Oh, it's the ad time. The ad timer's broken? Why is the ad timer broken? Man, nothing's working tonight. But anyway, welcome back, everyone. It's Sunday night. There are viewer games, and now I can turn some of these lights off so it isn't 10,000 degrees down here. It's technically only 79.3 degrees according to my thermometer, which, now that I'm thinking about it, I haven't ever changed the batteries in this, and it's been like 3 or 4 years. Some damn good batteries. But anyway, we got viewer games. We got a lot of viewer games. I do have a tournament game breakdown that's going to go up. Hopefully nobody submitted that one. There are supposed to be a bunch of really exciting games that are happening in this particular round, but at the time of this recording, they are not completed. As always, if you are either participating or watching any of the tournament games and you think there is a cool game, whether it's you or someone else, let me know. I would love to cover it because I want to get more attention to this. I think it is worth it. I think it's very exciting, but I can't go through all the games myself. Additionally, other housekeeping piece is, of course, I am part of the content affiliate program. That means the Phobies team does, in fact, give me coffee, like the coffee that you happen to see up at the top. And you know what else I have to possibly show off here? We have a new telestrator, which unfortunately still cuts the sound because there's nothing I can do about that. But anyway, whoa, I didn't mean to do that. Well, you know what? That's okay. So anyway, I guess last housekeeping thing is I have once again been reached out to about restarting tournaments through my Discord. I would love to do that, but we need interest. We need people to say, I want to be involved. And how many people was actually the question this time? And that is a relevant question. Like, how many people do have to show interest for me to try and start things up again? And right now, I am saying triple whatever the population cap of the tournament is. So if it's 8 people, we need 24. If we're going to do anything other, like if we're going to do 25, arbitrary number, I want minimum 75 people that say they're interested. If we're going to do a 50-person tournament, I want 150 people that say that they're interested, because we've had way too many people that decide to no-show. So, Chad, this is just going to be a blank green screen. You're going to hear my voice because, like I said, the camera got fucked. Hold on. Actually, maybe I might be able to... Can I fix this? What if I deactivate and then reactivate? Ah, we fixed it. So my beard is kind of weird today. I don't know. There's like a weird gap right here, and I don't know what's going on. I'm going to blame it on the humidity. It's also when if I don't wear a dark shirt or like I'm up against a dark background. Like you can't see it here, but if I lean forward because it's a light background on my shirt. Anyway, let's get in there. I just turned off the light, so whatever. I don't care. Which game was this? I'm all fucked up right now. All right, here we go. Painful Fate, Rugged Footing. We're getting into it. Let's see what we got. Yeah, I'd be happy to run Phobies tournaments again. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a pain in the ass. That's the reason that I haven't been running them, is that it was a pain in the ass. And part of the reason that it was a colossal pain in the ass is that people were not showing up. Like, we'd have 8 people commit, 2 people showed up, 3 people showed up, Or people would show up, they would show up for one round and then fuck off because they just didn't feel like participating. And it's like, you're ruining the event for everyone else. And don't get me wrong, like, I understand. Look, the mailbox ate your cat. You gotta go deal with it, you know. You decided that your poop sock was full. Why do you have a poop sock? Like, these are things that you need to address. However, you do need to, like, let people know. Communicate. Or just straight up don't sign up if you know that things are going to have timing conflicts because people are signing up because they want to play. And the whole point of having a tournament is so that people play. Like, don't be that guy. Also, what is with the Maggies? Why do we got Maggies? Speaking of poop socks. Speaking of poop socks. We've got double Maggie. Let's make some notes. I will 100% use the poop socks to start the stream. And I'll maybe put socks as the thumbnail. I don't know. I guess I have to turn the light on. My backpack is too far away. I got a new toy yesterday, chat. I've shown off Soundwave before. My Blockies Soundwave. I'll turn them upside down so you can kind of see them. Get set up. How do I do this so you can continue to see him? I guess that works. Can't see his legs. But anyway. I really like these guys. They're little model kits for Transformers. They don't transform. But they come with a fair amount of accessories or something. And they're like... They're not really worth the money. I guess they are inflation-wise. Like, when I was a kid, these probably would have been like $1. The quality would have been much worse, but they probably would have been like $1 or $2. I know it's like back in my day, but the reality is that inflation, these are now like, they have a $2 or $3 version. You know, it's like $2.99. Then there's the $8.99, and then there's $12.99. The $12.99 apparently comes with lights. I have one that I haven't assembled yet, but I got a Shockwave yesterday, which is pretty cool. I was kind of hoping for Tarn, but I'm very happy with Shockwave. Little Sabian action. I don't understand the primate here, painfulFate. If you're watching this afterwards, hopefully you can elaborate on the primate, because I don't understand that one. It's a little weird. A little weird. I don't know about that. I don't know about that erratic either. Oh man, my head hurts. You know what I just saw before I started the stream, chat? I know this is going to be another digression, but maybe I should do a video talking about expectations. So I'm in another Discord server. It's a paid Discord server, as in I am paying to be there because I'm subscribed to their Patreon, so I get access to their exclusive Discord server. It's a competitive team for Star Wars Unlimited, and I think it's one of, if not the best community to talk to people about the game, because it is a lot of the best players hanging out there, but it's also kind of a gated community, so that way you don't have your normal internet dweebs going in there shrieking about whatever nonsense, right? Like just being dickbags, because they're not willing to shell out the like $4 that it takes to get in. Whatever. Anyway. And even if they did, you know, there's more moderation, so they would just get kicked out because they're being a dweeb. But somebody was saying, don't play this deck. Like someone else says, hey, I'm thinking about playing this deck. And a second person says, don't play that. It is not good, and I didn't do well with it. And then one of the people who run the Discord said something to the effect of, but you went 4-2 in a 6-round tournament. So you had a 66% win rate, which is arguably pretty good. It's obviously positive. But I think, and I know why they're saying it, because it's like, they probably feel obligated in a sense to be like, well, don't make people feel bad, you know, even though they may not have had the results they wanted. You know, like, oh, well, that's still impressive. I always hate that. It feels very patronizing. Why did that boom not go in? Like, that boom didn't do anything. It didn't claim the panic point, and it didn't go in. So now it's just going to die for freezies. Now, Sabian's going to eat a big retaliation hit here, but you do get 5 keys, and I don't know that you can kill the Sabian. 7 keys. 9 keys? 9 keys. Now, bad guy does have 12, but our hero has 12 keys available, and they just brought a pterodactyl into the fold. Dude, like, that was a pretty good recognition of the board state. Capitalizing there. So, I mean, I do the same thing. Because at a certain level, you do need to recognize that, like, hey, it may not be the result you wanted. You know, like, if you went in, like, I want to win this event. Like, I want to win this Phobies tournament. Well, the reality is, in order to win a Phobies tournament, you need to probably go through a lot of really good players, right? Like, you're going to have to beat the best people in there, depending on the structure of the event. Single limb, you might be able to dodge some people. But anyway, or maybe you only have to go through 1 or 2. But Swiss, typically you have to go through a lot of... Like, the system inherently makes your road difficult. Because as you win, you have to play other people that won. So there is a level of like, well, if you were able to accomplish this, that means that you had to have at least accomplished these things. But I've always found that patronizing when people say that to me, because it's like, no, that is not an acceptable result for me. And on the outside looking in, seeing someone else say it to someone else, it does make me consider all the times that I have tried to justify things to people, and do they feel similarly? Or do they feel that it is not patronizing? And I'm not sure. But given that we try and focus on competitive aspects while we're watching these games, I'm curious what other people's thoughts are. Do you feel it is patronizing if someone, like, you go into an event, you expect that you maybe not expect, but you are, either you did expect going in, or you are hoping for a particular result. You do not get said result, and as a result, you are disappointed. Do you feel it is patronizing for somebody to tell you something to the effect of, oh, well, this was still a really good performance due to XYZ metric? Because, like I said, to me, typically that is, I almost feel worse when someone says something like that to me. Also, that Chipotle that I ate is giving me heartburn. It's not really heartburn, I guess. Like, it doesn't hurt. But it definitely does kind of feel like my stomach is not holding it very well. Like, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't feel like I need to hit the bathroom. It's just like, it's like at the bottom of my throat. So I guess it's kind of heartburn because, like, some of the stomach acid is coming up. I don't know. Do we have a phobie that vomits stomach acid? We have a lot of vomiting phobies. But do we have a phobie that, like, expressly vomits stomach acid? Pretty well played by painfulFate here. I know we covered a variety of topics that were wildly unrelated to this game. However, the one push gave a big advantage, and then I don't think painfulFate ever let go. Never really in danger as far as heart health goes. Pretty well done. Also, you gotta love when Daisy shows up. Daisy's always fun. Actually, double resurrect phobies is pretty cool. GG. Alright. I gotta pluck this one gray hair. See, right there? I can't tell if I've only got the one. I didn't get it. I got it. It was annoying me because, like, less because it's gray. I don't care. I'm not gonna, like, dye my beard or something. I'm balding and whatever. But it was just, like, sticking out like this right in the lower field of vision. So it was annoying the shit out of me. Anyway. I'm a little loopy today, chat, because I'm exhausted. I'm super dehydrated from the tournament yesterday. Did not go well for me. Speaking of results that I'm unhappy with. Oof. We got Lavable Ring. We got Great Ginger Gabe on the Great Return. I believe this is the first game we've watched with Gabe on the return. I could be wrong. But we got the best team I found for the map. Thanks as always. Well, thank you to you, Gabe, as well as everybody else who submits a game. I don't think I say it enough, but I do appreciate when people submit games. They don't have to. I like doing this. It is fun for me. I was thinking about that as I was recording my usual tirade about Star Wars Unlimited, where I'm not having fun playing the game. But I do enjoy commentating on the game and talking about the game and thinking about the game and interacting with the community for the game. And I feel the same about Phobies, although I don't interact with the community a lot. I don't really do that for Star Wars, but I do face-to-face. I don't really on the internet, outside of like the Discord I was mentioning earlier. And that's like, I like running the events, or liked running the events for Phobies, but there are limitations where if it becomes a pain in the balls because people are not cooperating, that's when we run into problems. So we got a little honey bear standoff. Speaking of vomiting, which I feel like I'm going to do right now. It's not quite all the way up there, chat. It's getting there. It's getting there. So what's good, chat? How's everybody doing out there? Ooh, we got the aggro puke, if you will, as opposed to the aggro crag from, what the hell was that American Gladiators knockoff that Nickelodeon used to do? I think it was called the aggro crag. I remember as a kid wanting to be on like all those game shows because it was always like, man, those kids are so stupid. Why did you do that? Or like, but I'm sure there were rules. The one that I always wanted to do was the one where it was, you got to go in the like CGI virtual reality video game room. Because I loved playing video games as a kid, as I imagine many people watching this did. I don't remember the name of that show. That would probably be a funny game show to bring back. As, like, get a bunch of middle-aged millennials who clearly would have been watching that show. Or, I guess, older Gen Zers. I don't know. Whatever the age bracket is. That you're, like, adults now. They're of age to drink. And just get them drunk. And then turn it into, like, one of those game shows where, like, people just end up getting the crap beat out of them. Like, that would be funny, right? Like, have them have to run an obstacle course. Like, imagine American Ninja Warrior, but everybody's drunk. That would be hilarious. I mean, American Ninja Warrior is a lot of fun to watch. I do, but it's a different watch, because I like watching it for the great athleticism. Like, yeah, it's funny if, like, somebody has a silly fall. But 9 times out of 10, like, ooh, there's a Chuck. 9 times out of 10, like, I want to see people succeed. But there are absolutely times when you watch a game show and it's like, nah, I'm watching this for the clusterfuck. I'm watching this for the disaster piece that is going to happen. Is this Quagmire dead? There's no way this Quagmire dies, right? Is the Quagmire just bait? You can probably tank the lava with the Chuck. Wait, did you not have enough damage to kill? I guess 4 hits is probably not enough to take down that honey bear, right? You can absolutely tax this Clinico, though. I don't know, people who played this map more, do you feel that honey bear is your ideal play? I could definitely see honey bear or Charon. Prometheus, I wonder if Prometheus is a thing here. Probably not, right? Although it would be funny if, like, where's my draw? So, like, if you Prometheus from this side, right? And then you lava here. Like, lava all your opponent's stuff. So, like, they have double layers of lava. How annoying would that be? I'm really liking this new Telestrator thing. The setup is much better. The setup is dramatically better. For me, anyway. Also, I like that I can use my logo as, like, a little icon. It's a bad guy on the retreat. They've lost the game right now, right? Like, they just cannot win at this stage, I think. Honestly, I think now that you have boxed in the Klepto I don't think can ever kill the mucus monster here. Certainly not if you rotate the Clinico up. But I think I would have probably used Bo and maybe even Chuck or whatever to clear out the cat and then get Chuck right here. Because then you can shell the heart while your opponent's team is split. Like, this is probably going to work out, but I think that would have been my line to set up. Now, I wasn't really paying close attention to the health. Okay, well, Chuck has got the shit beat out of him, so maybe that would have been too dangerous, but... Like I said, like, this Quagmire is basically immortal. And bad guy's demise is, in fact, imminent. The old heebie-jeebie special, but this time, locking them out with the Quagmire. And we got him locked. I mean, this guy's been locked. This game has been over for like 6 turns now, maybe 8 turns. Whenever Quagmire went up there and locked the Klepto up there, the game was over. That guy could never commit enough forces back to the board. You couldn't really contest the Chuck because your team was too slow and didn't have enough damage to really do anything. You got wrecked. Got pooped on, one might say. If one were so inclined. Are you protecting the Chuck? I guess. That makes sense. 5-0 panic point advantage. 4-2 phobia advantage, one of which being a boom. A protected Chuck. I don't think there's much more you can ask for. Boom. You know what we haven't heard from in a while? Onda. Haven't heard from Onda in a while. Down goes bad guy. Very well played, Gabe. Welcome back. Alright. What do we got next? What do we got on the docket? In the queue. Batter up. On deck, one might say. All right, we got CC coming back at you. A little Cobra Commander action. The Devilish Snipe gives... Wait, what? The Devilish Snipe gave me creeps, no pun intended. Be prepared to see some fireworks. All right. All right, hold on. I gotta set up. We'll see what happens here. What are we on? Exponential Decay? All right. Remember when this was rent past due? I don't think anybody... I'm sure they changed it. Oh, excuse me. To be, like, a little more sensitive. You know what I mean? Like, But was anybody actually offended by that name? I don't... There's always issues economically with, like, foreclosures and fucking scumbaggery capitalist plans. Like, vulture capitalist bullshit, buying up stuff, including housing. But I don't know if the name needed to be changed. I don't know. How do you guys feel? I can understand, like, I don't have a problem with it being changed. It's just interesting that it did. I assume that's the reason, but I don't know. So we do have an early Creepy Dello. CC has been kind of, at least lately, been our premier Creepy Devil user. And I do have to wonder, and only CC's going to know unless somebody decides to go through their profile. Like, how many games do you have... If you're forcing Creepy Devil every game, which I think at this point we're assuming you are, how many games do you lose the Creepy Devil just randomly to, like, your opponent decided to position something across from that cat? I'm sure it's kind of like a... It started out by, like, a ton as you're figuring out where do I position things and, like, how do I properly use this phobie, and then it starts dropping down, and then it eventually plateaus at a certain level because you've figured out what's valuable and what's not. Like, this is pretty good. You got 5 keys there, relatively for free. You're going to cough up at least 3, maybe 6. And your retaliation isn't going to be great if they get the Creepy Devil here. I think they get 5. Ooh, a little Finnegan action. Poor K. I don't... Why didn't they... Like, could they not have just killed the cassowary? Could the fire ant have not killed the cassowary? I'm not going to check the stats. I don't care. We're going to find out. But, like, I think they could have gotten the cassowary for freezies there, right? Because the Kerbloom was not in range. And there was no way to make it in range either. I'm going to assume that they could not, because otherwise, like, why wouldn't you take that? But either way, that allows our hero to stabilize the panic points by stealing one of bad guys, while also threatening to take the center and their pocket. Ooh, we're going to get a big noxious spit here. Interesting repositioning. So what bad guy might have done was thrown a trap and then backed off with the fire ant, and that's why they didn't kill the cassowary. Excuse me. I'm like I said, dehydrated, so it makes me sleepy. I is sleepy. So yeah, I think that trap was from earlier. That's going to lead to a dead Murderwing Hercules. I love the way he walks, like using the extra tentacles to help him walk. Wait, we got Kerbloom and we got Kaboom. Interesting. I assume Finnegan's going to go down and then a retreat from our hero. That's a lot of panic points taken. In fact, one could go so far as to say it's all of the panic points. Yeah, Kerbloom's got to beat feet out of there. Unfortunately, this is going to give bad guy a window to get back in there, but we got some Radiator coming out. Radiator going to be a big threat. Always happy to see him. Guy's hilarious to me. I just love the way he like tiptoes out there. It makes me happy. It's really funny to me. It is incredibly funny to me. Is this Hercules to expose? There's no way, right? There's no way, right? No. Are you serious? No way. Oh my god. If you get the snipe here. Wow. I mean, bad guy can just send in Kaboom and probably get a triple kill here, but still, that's hilarious. Boom. Double kill into the third kill. The Hercules takedown was funny, but was it worth it? 0 keys on bad guy's side, though. Our hero still with 8. It does give bad guy a bunch of tempo to set up more traps, which is the big problem. Setting up the traps is going to be how bad guy gets back into this game or takes over this game, but it is a 4-to-1 panic point advantage right now, and yes, it's a big map, but bad guy is going to have to commit in at some point. Minotaur and Jin Sting supplement the team. Is that enough? I don't know. I don't know. It's got to be a dead fire ant, right? Everybody hold on to your butts. All right, that wasn't too bad. I was kind of expecting a trap up in the north to cook the cassowary and fire ant. Or snowball, rather. But Evo's going to give up his life for this advance. As his cassowary. Kerbloom's going to be able to connect, at least onto Thunder Rocks, which is probably good enough because you can burn down the remaining fight. Yeah, this is just over, right? This goes on for 4 more turns? I don't understand how. Does bad guy just fucking run away? Please tell me bad guy doesn't just run away for 2 more turns. I also hope our hero doesn't torture them. Oh, come on! Don't be that guy! Like, the like 6 tiers that you're getting and like 14 extra XP. Don't be that guy. Don't be this guy. Where is it? Don't be this guy. Don't be this guy. Don't be this guy! You have obviously lost this game. Don't be this guy! You know what this feels like when people do this? And don't get me wrong, like, there is an incentive to do it, because there are a few extra tiers in XP that bad guy's getting. And it's another reason that I think it should just be a flat rate win or loss. And then just tie, like, all the extra shit to quests or something. Maybe. So, to a degree, I don't blame bad guy. Running away, you mean strategically reposition? Yeah, but, like, you cannot win. It is not, I'm retreating to a better position. It's just you're prolonging the game for no reason. It's like, imagine if you're playing a real-life game. Like, God forbid you are playing Monopoly. Like, let's pretend you're playing Monopoly. God forbid that actually happens. But somebody lands on one of your hotels or whatever, right? And you're gonna end the game. So they pick up their piece and your piece and then just run out the fucking front door and down the street. Like, what are you doing? You have to come back at some point. Like, what? Why are we doing this? But yes, you've not lost for an extra however long it takes you to come back. But like, it's just stupid. Creating bad incentives. I mean, I think a lot of it is, it's easy in hindsight, but I think there are systems like that where if you pitch the current Phobies system, or many of the other ones, as, well, we're incentivizing players to keep playing, which from a monetary perspective keeps them in the game, keeps them engaged, and they get something by performing actions even when they lose. So it appeases whales because it's like that person isn't just going to quit out immediately because they want something. So then the whales actually have someone to play against. And as the losing player, it's like, well, at least I didn't just get my ass beat and I got nothing. But the reality is that we end up with this sort of crap where people just run around for no fucking reason, and it's just a waste of everyone's time. All right, we got a lot of longer-ish games tonight. We got Scorpioastro in the blue trunks on whatever the fuck this map is called. I'm in a weird mood tonight, chat. Jeeves is the best walrus ever. Remember the walrus picture I put up? Everybody loved that like baby walrus picture I found. It was like a random Google image. Sounds like a good way to end the game of Monopoly. First of all, the best way to end a game of Monopoly is to not start a fucking game of Monopoly. Don't do... Why would you... Monopoly's like one of the best ways to make someone hate you. Or for you to learn how to hate someone. Monopoly and Risk. It's amazing how bad old board games were. Like, it's actually shocking. This is what people did to pass the time before things happen. For real? Yeah, like, dude, it is so bad. They are among the worst games. And the funniest thing is, I don't think I've ever played someone who played Monopoly who played by the actual rules. Everybody has a bunch of house rules. Obviously, I haven't played with everyone, but you get what I'm getting at. Everyone has a bunch of house rules that are not actually in the fucking rules, which inevitably always prolong the game. Monopoly with real properties in USD instead of play money. You mean vulture capitalism? We were just talking about that on the other map. I keep wanting to call Slayer Steeljaw. Partially because it's a Transformer. I'm still annoyed that I left my other Transformer wherever I left my backpack. I think it's over there. But yes, board games are better now. Although I keep... Like, I'm going to go to PAX in a few months. And there's going to be a ton of games that I want to investigate. And inevitably, I will buy some of them and we will never fucking play them. Although I will say the new overhead setup that I've been using for streaming has been great. It is so much easier to carry and set up and break down. Well, it's actually more difficult to set up and break down, but like it's easier to carry and easier to transport. Like it can actually fit in the trunk of my fucking car, as opposed to me having to fold the seats down and then I'm like scratching the shit out of things. I have to wrap the other one in towels because it's too long. It doesn't telescope enough. Check out Root if you haven't played it before. I have checked it out. I have not... Well, I think I maybe played one of the digital demos. Have you ever played Armello? I like that game, but I never... The problem is, like, I can't play a game that takes, like, 2+ hours to play. That's the problem. That's why I like these sort of games, like Phobies, where it's like, you can play a game in 10 to 15 minutes. And some of them probably aren't even that long. It's why I like card... One of the reasons I like card games is because they are faster. The setup and breakdown time have to be factored into games. And that's why I will always prefer video games to physical games. Even for something as simple as a card game, like having to sit down and shuffle a fucking deck and having to deal with sleeves and boxes and this and that and transport and storage and, oh, go, my foils are turned into goddamn Pringles. Like, I don't want that. I like video games. They are much cleaner. I don't know if you know this, but digital things take up less space than physical things. And don't give me some perspective crap about, you know, inside the hard drive or some shit. Anyway, I don't know what's going on up in the north here, but Scorpioastro has vacuumed bad guy's entire team all the way up and trap them up there. Sort of. Not really. It's really bad guy encroaching on our heroes' territory. And unsuccessfully, I might add. Unsuccessfully. Jeeves, little vomit. It's not really vomit. Would that count as stomach acid, you think? It's clearly coming out of his chest/stomach area, right? I feel like they're... I mean, maybe noxious is stomach acid. I don't know what's going on with my throat. My throat feels very scratchy. Throat feels very, very scratchy. That's probably a dead Blanky. It is kind of, if you watch carefully, all of the eyes on Blanky when it gets hit rotate to look at whatever hit it. Which is a cool touch. Like, you don't necessarily catch that right away. That's a very aggressive sheep. Like, that sheep can't survive that, can it? I guess it can if bad guy chooses to attack the other phobie? Yeah, that does not seem worth. I don't know why that sheep went in there, Scorpio. Isn't Scorpioastro the alt for one of the other regulars? I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure that's the case. Dude, I'm cooking down here. Why am I roasting down here? Little Dr. Dermic action. Is the implication that, like, the black stain on Dr. Dermic is supposed to be blood, or is it the leaking? Like, because the fluid is pink, right? I mean, it's clearly a stain and not, like, a pattern. But it looks like it's supposed to be leaking out of Dr. Dermic's head. Okay, these ice traps are very strange. Like, what are we doing here? Well, right now we're killing this repeller. Bad guy formerly in control of the middle. No longer. Goo! Now our hero is going to take over the game. 6 keys remaining for bad guy. And there's about to be ice traps locking down this bottom center of the map. Hopefully the mic doesn't screech. I don't know why it screeches sometimes. Because I can hear it. But I don't know if just, like, moving it causes vibrations within the mic to happen, and therefore it plays back in the audio. Little brute worst action. Little brute worst action. What do we got? Oh, that brute worst is gonna get wrecked. That was like the easiest goddamn prediction in the history of Phobies. People who haven't played Phobies before knew that was gonna happen. Unfortunately, I don't know that there's much that our hero can do to capitalize on it. Like, we're just kind of out of position here. I don't love that position for the... Isn't your murder wing just dead now? When it didn't have to die? Not quite enough to take down the Hevo, but now you're in a better position to try and defend this walrus. Oh no, bad guy. What do you think they were doing down there the whole time? My guy, come on. Imagine bad guy's surprise when you invade the walrus's den and there are freeze traps. Imagine, this is like shocked Pikachu GIF level nonsense. We needed a shocked Pikachu reaction GIF, but with a phobie. I know somebody does, like, the little emojis in Discord with phobies. I don't think it's, like, the actual phobies team. I think it's somebody just doing the artwork for funsies. And I'd love to know who it is, because I kind of want them to do this. We're gonna body block out the Brutewurst. Where is Brutewurst gonna go? They could get the unbearable, which I guess is what they're going to do, which, again, that's a good placement for the trap. Imagine if Spud rolled endlong instead of on its side like that. That would be kind of funny, right? Down goes Hevo. I mean, why did Goon not attack? You got the double disease there. However... Bwom. Yeah, you gotta run down that Spud before he gets away. Once he gets away, you're gonna be in trouble. But, despite the damage to our hero's heart, locking down the Brutewurst for like the third time, probably the second time, but that guy's going nowhere. This is, again, a scenario where, like, at least bad guy can't run away. But we should have the ability. Bad guy has lost. There is no way for them to win. It is not possible. Just let them surrender. With no penalty. Like, it's fine. Honestly, I was doubting the Walrus until the very back part of this game. And they got there. GG. Well played. Oh, man. Might take a quick break and stretch my legs after this game chat, because I'm tired. Need to stand up. Alright, I think we got somebody new. Fatal Road. This name does not ring bells, so... assuming I'm not mistaken, welcome to Phobies Viewer Games. Fatal Road is our hero. Here on Chapeltown. Sabian going AoE attacking. Attacking. No G. So you know it's extreme. Sounds like one of those, like, remember how everything in the 90s was extreme? I feel like there was a cereal that was extreme, and I don't remember what it was. Most extreme breakfast cereal. I'm sure they got the Macho Man Randy Savage or Hulk Hogan or somebody to do it, an advert. So, Tona, I don't know if you're still in here, but I had mentioned the He-Man Battle for Eternia card game to a few people, and they were very excited, and they went to download, and they also can't do it. So, I don't know what devices it is available for. I don't understand what some of these blocks are. Like, some of them look like... I feel like they're all supposed to be bricks, but, like, what kind of bricks are these, and why are they stacked like this? This is very weird. Like, this is a giant L-shaped brick. You see what I'm talking about? Like, this here? It's like... It's L-shaped. Why? What? I understand it's supposed to be abstract, but, like... This is jarring to me. The other ones are more coherent. It's like, okay, here's a brick. Maybe these are laid haphazardly. But this one just looks like it has... Whoop, that didn't work. That's a 6. That one, it's just like, these are some oddly shaped bricks, and they're also stacked weird. That looks like a creep for free. I mean, a bad guy wants to just donate keys. Why not? Why not? Alright, so we're in standoff territory for now. Bad guy supplementing with a myriad of random-ass phobies. I mean, the Ray Chargels isn't bad. Got Sabian, got Hevo. Woolly Bully. No, I don't hate it. You only got one electrical on the other side that's holding back the rest of your team. I don't hate it. That's a really deep... This is wrong. What? This cannot be beneficial. There's no way. I thought they were going to, like, dive the Hevo, and I was doubting the amount of damage output, but this... You're just going to trade at least 3 phobies, probably, for... Murder Wing? That ain't it. That ain't it. Get a little chop. Get a little bonk. A little bit of this. A little bit of that. A little bit of slap. Like, what exactly was Bad Guy's plan? Other than hemorrhage phobies. Like, some of these decisions are mind-boggling. And don't get me wrong, I make misplays all the time in all games that I play, but... Man, that one... I don't even know. Let me just send a sizable but not massive part of my forces into the teeth of my opponent's entire team. What could possibly go wrong? Admittedly, our hero did not position their Hevo as safely as they could, but I think that they are still going to get some decent retaliation here. Oh, we're going in there. Are we going to get this Ray? Oh, we're going after the snowball. You can probably kill the Murder Wing, too. And if the bad guy tries to kill the Eternal Knight, they're going to be sucked back in. Dude, bad guy, what are you doing? I almost think you don't send the Quagmire up there to bait them into trying to kill your... Well, I guess it doesn't matter. They could have killed the Eternal Knight and then escaped. So I guess it's fine. It doesn't really matter. Excuse me. Alright, bad guys finally deciding to get the more relevant phobies on their team into the game. It might be a little too late. Our hero's still with 5 keys. Oh my god. Is this real life? Or is this fantasy? Dude, like, come on. Our hero just kind of molly-whopping bad guy. Just absolutely cooked. I'd be lying if I said I understood any part of Bad Guy's plan. This actually wasn't bad. This was a challenge play to get the spider. The ray is threatening the jar. There's no real safe place for jar to go unless you kind of like beat feet out of there, I think. Because if you move down one set, you're in range of the Hevo and alligator. Well, the alligator. Now you can move safely, probably to the panic point. Or we can just get the hell out of the dodge. Get the hell out of dodge. Still got like 35-40% of your heart health. And now, my turn. Obviously, our hero wins here, but like, man. This game was not close. This was an old-fashioned beatdown. Bad guy just getting their ass beat. GG. Alright. What do we got next? 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what, chat? I'm going to take a quick break. I need to stretch my legs and get up because I'm yawning so much. I'm tired. We'll be right back. Give me like 2 minutes. Alright, chat. We're back. Just a quick break. Stretch my legs. Cool off a little bit. Let's get back in there. Got a lot of video editing to do this week. And a lot of tournament prep for the last event for me for a while, thank God. Hi, Georgie. I don't remember. Have we ever established where the Hi, Georgie came from? Is that the line from It? Like, is Georgie one of the characters? I don't remember. I've never actually seen that movie. Remake or the original. Never read the book, because every Stephen King book is, like, 7,000 pages. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind a long book, but, like, every time I've seen a Stephen King book, it's like I've seen encyclopedias that are shorter. But anyway, the notes for this game finally back again, ×3. Recently got most of my dream phobies, and I'm having a lot of fun with them and made some plays I couldn't even do before. Well, let's see what you got up the clown sleeve. Assuming we can make the It reference. I don't know. Georgie may or may not have told us before. I forgot. But we do have a Phantom on the board. I wonder if that is in the cadre of most desired phobies, especially given the nerfs. I do think Phantom looks really cool. I like, I've mentioned it before, but like the veins / lightning or whatever, like the lines on them, I think look really cool. I am very curious, if Phantom were to, like, stand straight up, instead of being hunched over like that, can we see through the ribcage? Or is it more, like, white flame inside him? I'm curious. Ooh, I wonder if this is what the devs... They had to have seen, like, oh, well, I'll drop a Blondie or a Cerberus in the middle of your team and go nuts. But I wonder if this is more what the devs intended. Like, oh, I spawn a slow phobie, so I just drop it into the action that much faster with things like Phantom and Shove Shark, and then the actual play pattern was just kind of stupid. Leela! A happy little mushroom. Just a happy little mushroom. Gonzo Bonzo. Gonzo Bonzo, absolutely one of the creepiest phobies. It's super unsettling because of the way the eyes are. And the way he ass scoots along the ground. It's unsettling. Alright, bad guy. Building almost the definition of death ball. I think there's one Leela trap out. Maybe. I've been readjusting the mic a lot tonight. I apologize. But our hero has fairly significant panic point advantage at this stage. So, bad guy, look, you gotta do something. Yep. There is, in fact, a Leela trap. Got soaked by the cat. So that was a good call by our hero here. Cat is cooked, though. Phantom might be live at this point. However, I don't know that you want to dump Erratic in there because that's just going to be really difficult to survive if a Moffat pull happens. I do like this position. This is actually a great setup here in the corner. To just, like, okay, sure, send Sabian in. Watch what happens. Smiley as the follow-up. Got the yoink here. Get a multi-hit. But it's not enough to kill the Ray, is it? Maybe? No follow-up. There's nothing else that can get it. I wonder if bad guy was accounting for, like, the fire tile? I think trading the Ray for the Sabian is probably worth it at this point. It's 5 keys for 5 keys. That's the whole purpose of the Ray. So we did get the connection here from the sheep, but we'll just leech it all off. Rambo, huh? A booping we will go. Ace? Alright, well. What are we going after here? Is it just because he's a big dumbass? Alright, bad guy has kind of pinned Innocuous up there, but they're giving up their Moffat. I feel like you could have gotten more value out of that Miss Moffat. Isn't that just a dead Leela? And that Leela's just dead, right? So you get the spider, you get the Leela. You could possibly even teleport the Erratic in. So, wait, what are we doing? I mean, this is fine, but I think you could... I think you boop the... Nope, I don't want to exit. I hit the wrong button. I think you boop the Leela with the Rambo, and then you still drop the Smiley in to disease everybody. And it just gets the Leela off the table. Down goes Boomer. See, like, now you gotta put this effort into killing the Leela that you didn't need to do. Unless I'm missing something. Like, I feel like you could have just booped it. Like, maybe the boop doesn't work? I don't know. Given that the Boomer was there, it had to have pushed it up. Because you can't displace the Boomer. But Leela goes down thanks to the disease anyway. Which I guess maybe is an argument like, I'm gonna get it, but I think they got a trap off in the interim, which didn't need to happen. Down goes Erratic. The disease did, in fact, take its toll. The sound effect for Ace is really cool. This suddenly seems way harder for our hero than it probably should have been. I don't know that the Leela play was enough, but... Alright, the boop to buy some room. I mean, Ace is dead. Oh no, another disease trap. Oh my god, Haffy sucks! Why do people use this terrible-ass phobie? Alright, you should be able to burn everything down. By everything, I mean not Cerberus. And then you just walk away from Cerberus until he dies. You have to be a little careful. It's possible there are more traps. The bad guy has to hope that they can, I guess, connect Cerberus with the heart. I don't know. I think you could hit and run the Haffy. Like, it's good to kill it here, but I'd almost say don't let the Cerberus connect to leech any life. But you could also just kite the Cerberus afterwards anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Or they're just dead to disease now. GG. Yeah, other than the one boot play, I think it's pretty well done. Pretty well done. Alright, Burning Rings. I was going to say once again, but I don't think we had a game on it tonight. Zay 3-3-0. Just a little bit of trolling. No, not like this. Not like this. Chat, I know I have a tiny, like, floor fan I kind of want to put over here. So I think that would help. I have one over there that's going, but the circulation isn't quite enough. But I have to be careful because I don't want the fan to, like, blow into or onto the mic. So what is the troll here? We don't have an actual troll phobia, I don't think. You can make an argument that something like Woolly Bully is maybe a troll. Like, I could see Woolly Bully being a bridge troll, right? As opposed to an internet troll. Dude, imagine an internet troll phobia. It would have to have, like, collector's ability, right? Where it just, like, causes other phobies to lose actions. Alright, so we're banking a little bit. Bad guy banking up to 12 because reasons. Little oopsie baby. I mean, oopsie baby seems good on this map. If I recall correctly, when we last saw this map, and people were talking about it in chat, it is not a favorite among the community. It is a oft maligned one, and I'm curious if that's still the case because The standoffish nature, thanks to the lava tiles, is kind of annoying. But I do wonder, for maps like this, is Prometheus worth it? Because a honey bear or a Charon... honey bear, I think, is more of a liability because it's so slow. Like, the range allows it to impact the board pretty quickly, but it is slow to reposition and kind of obnoxious. Charon can, of course, set up your side of the board, but I wonder if there's play for Prometheus here. I'm pretty sure Prometheus's ability is, like, range 1, so you can't, like, drop the lava tiles, like, here. But it would be interesting. Chat, we're up to 831 followers on Twitch. It's funny how many more subscribers I got on YouTube. And how quickly. Like, it is very difficult to find people on Twitch. It's not a very good discovery platform. The Bachelor Trade. I like that positioning, the Gravedigger. You can get way more aggressive thanks to the spider backup. Somebody the other day was talking about how they want more tournaments in Australia. They're like, oh, I'd love to... They apparently went to a tournament years ago, probably for Magic or something. It was in Australia, I forget where. And I just responded with spiders. I wonder how big the... Like, if you go to a major city in Australia... Like, I have to imagine if you go to a smaller city or the suburbs or something like that, huntsman spiders and or whatever the enormous things are called, and, like, the myriad of other ones are going to be there. And, like, there are spiders in, say, New York City. But they're not... I wonder if... Like, those enormous spiders still exist in the major cities, or, like, is the prey driven out? Or are there more of them because, like, it's a city and there's more people produce more trash, which results in more insects and therefore more spiders? This is something that I kind of want to look up, but I will forget as soon as we finish this game, if not sooner. So our hero had a fairly large panic point advantage. It's just like a lot of panic points, but not enough here. We get the heebie-jeebies special, thereby requiring Pterodactyl to get involved, but our hero with the only remaining 1 key on the board. And also somehow 15 keys? What is this? Alien Engineer 2.0? Does Alien Engineer even play anymore? I know they had given up the game for a bit. I don't know if they ever came back. Speaking as someone who is fighting burnout right this second for other games, once you cross that threshold, it is very, very difficult to come back. You go past the point, and it is, in fact, a point of no return. How much do you think the devs consider... Oh, no. Anybody else see this coming? Because I know I did. I wonder how much the devs consider... flyers being incapable of hitting obstacles to be a drawback. And, like, how much does that factor into their ability costs and things like that? Or is it just, yeah, they're aware of it, but they're not, like, actively concerned with it being a factor. The spider lives? That's crazy. That power down is bonkers. That power down is bonkers. Our hero just, like, value trading left and right this entire game. Oh, man. Oh, man. We've had a lot of beatdowns tonight. Maybe not a lot, but we've had a few. Bad guy trying to set up the sheep hit for like the last 6 months. And there it goes again. Bad guy locked out once more. They're just cooked. I mean, this is another game that was decided several turns ago. It's got a weird, like, sharp pain in my finger. The bad guy's not going down without a fight, but I don't know how much fight they can put up given this position. They do have a panic point advantage. We'll give him that, I guess. That counts for something, right? Quagmire. We are actually witnessing Stairmaster winning a game. How crazy is that? I mean, if it was any other 5-key, would it have done an equally good job? Maybe. But it is Stairmaster on the winning team. And it wasn't like, oh, my very last phobia is I'm killing their other guys, I'll spawn Stairmaster. The Stairmaster was out there for a while contributing, so GG, well played. I think that was number 8 for tonight. Let me count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that was 7. This is going to be 8. We got some interesting ones towards the end here. I'm glad I took that break so I had like a little more energized for these next couple. Ooh, this is interesting. All right, dudiobugtron on the big house. Our hero here. Super close game with an amazing use of 1 keys in the end game by my opponent. That opponent is none other than Shadow Force. So this ought to be an exciting one. We do have a Karst game next, and we have a dearh game to close out. So let's see what we got here on the big house. We got a Sucky early on. That is unique. I mean, I'll trust DDB on this. I don't know that I love the Sucky. I'm not a huge fan. I don't know. I really like the turrets and Gravedigger lines on, or Sentinel lines, or compositions, I guess. I'm used to saying lines from card games, but like compositions on this map. Lobs are obviously very powerful, or could be. The Sucky is very tanky, so it could let you get mid-control. But the Gravedigger here, not going for a heebie-jeebies play. We're looking for a break here, opening up the Bowmangles to trivially cover all 3 panic points on their side. Now, We're banking to 9. We're banking to 12. We got a boss. That was interesting that they banked for that long. That was very interesting. Brute Worst is the answer. Along with... I don't know about Charon is the answer. What if we had a fire extinguisher phobia? This was bound to happen eventually. So we got the EBGB special to lock out our hero here. There, now it's squeaking. Why is the arm squeaking? Charon just shitting everywhere. Would the ability on Brute Worst go through that obstacle? Like, does the AoE ability go through the obstacle? You gotta be careful with this because they can probably replace the obstacle at this stage. You clear the cat, you actually kill the obstacle yourself and then just put it back down. Did you see that particle effect? Like, look. Yeah, you see that? Like, look at the mud. Like, right up here. The skulls, like, are dripping as they fly out. That's pretty cool. I never noticed that before. I wonder if you can't really see it over regular tiles, but you just notice it more because of the mud. That's kind of cool. Why does the mud look different under Brute Worst? So the diseaser will be diseased. Oh my god. This is a 33-turn game, by the way. How does this go on this long? I feel as though Shadow Force has got this kind of in hand. Unless our hero pulls out some wild-ass Uno reverse card here. This is a pretty big disease, though. But our hero's team is going to be, like, almost entirely diseased. If not now, certainly after this next turn. Whoop. Brute Worst getting his ass beat. Down goes Brute Worst into Bad Omen. 3 keys remaining for Shadow Force. Everything but Hevo is diseased. I mean, we're getting some takedowns here. Our hero's putting on up a fight, but they are on a clock here. Very much limited in options for their actions, and unfortunately, they need to stay there. One less hit, I think, like, one less hit might maybe change this game, because you could back off and then force the boss to come after you instead of being able to attack you twice, assuming it does that. But I have to assume that it does. Notably, no, you're fired this game. There's one key. There's a 1 key. There's a 1 key. Spread out, not really vulnerable to Hevo at this stage. And the sucky power down is brutal. Like 113 damage is nothing. Boop. Unfortunately, that is an Electrocat. Oh man, look at that. Electrocat with the kill. I don't know if this is so much the 1 keys as power down. We'll see. Wow, the Henrietta lived? Not like this. Yeah, now, honestly, Shadowforce has such an enormous life lead. Well, actually, no, it's not an enormous life lead. But either way, like, you can run away from the sucky, let the poison do its work. Go from there. Very well played. I do see how the 1 keys came in. A singular 3-cost Phobie probably would not have been able to do what ended up happening here. But very well played. I think that the early turns were really the driver behind this. I think that Bad Guy was able to jump out to a fairly significant advantage and then leverage it. The weird middle disease turns were, well, quite obviously very weird. I guess the assumption here is that there was no way to run down the cat, but there were a couple turns there where I wonder if you chased the cat, maybe you would have got it. I doubt it, but either way, GG. And also, shout out for submitting a game where you lost, because, like, we always talk about all the highlights and things, but it is cool to see when somebody submits a game when they lost. Got to give credit where credit's due. All right. We got a Karst game. All right, so this is a quicker game on exchange rate from Karst. So let's take some notes here. A good showcase of how fun and intense exchange rate is. Lots of uncommon Phobie usage. The Phobie rarity typically only ever comes up when people are complaining about ultra rares, but it is an important note to make when it isn't ultra rare fest. It is a more uncommon thing for that sort of scenario to happen. Now, this map is the last I saw it, people were crapping on this map, so I'm very curious to see what happens. So far, we're seeing similar to what was played the last time. Some flyers to help control these early top 2 panic points. Obviously, you get some 1 keys out. Unicorn happens to be the other pick of choice here, mostly because it fits into the curve, that sort of thing. But we'll see if Minotaur and Flail play the part that many people feel is required here. Quick pick on the 1 key there. Triple panic point advantage, and the creep poison was already burned, which makes this even more awkward, because you'd love to be able to stick the creep poison onto that Tooth Fairy, if for no other reason than to get it to pull back to the healing spa, buy you some tempo, especially when you're trying to reclaim it as the second player. I have to imagine this creep dies, so the question becomes, how do you supplement this? You can counterattack with the Jin Sting and the Cassowary. The cat positioning, yeah, we should be able to do... No, we can't. Because the cat and the Cassowary are not going to be able to reach that Tooth Fairy. And as mentioned, the creep does in fact go down. Now, I've lost track of the unicorn timer, but there's probably a unicorn trap there. So instead of fighting for the top, we're going to claim the bottom panic point. It's way safer here. Definitely makes sense. No dive with the cassowary, which also makes sense. It would have been just kind of donating it. And then Minotaur as the follow-up. So it is one of the more common phobies on this map, at least from what I'm told. Bad guy, however, going to try and get in there, wants to push the heart, and our hero should have a fairly decent time retaliating here. You can, of course, pop the jar. Only 4 phobies out. It'll be able to reach, at the very least, the murder wing. We're not going to get a big AoE hit from the Minotaur, but you should be able to clean out the unicorn. Triple panic point advantage is going to become a problem very quickly, though. Ooh. Unicorn actually goes down. Didn't need any help supplementing. And in fact, we do see the jar to chip away at the murder wing, but that, yep, it's not going to be quite enough. And there's the unicorn trap as expected. Bad guy can still apply a lot of pressure, but they're electing to actually go for the jar. I don't know about that. That kind of feels like a mistake. You have a panic point advantage. You have a lot of pressure on their heart. I don't know. I feel like you kind of go for it. Like, you got to commit to the strategy that you're doing. Splitting off like this removes 2 attacks from the murder wing on the heart. And the murder wing's presumably going to die to whatever pops out of the vault. This also, of course, gives the Minotaur double hit. And we get the Maggie to supplement things. AWOL notably able to clean things up on their own. And bad guy's tempo is broken at this stage, I think. You can get the Jinn Sting, but you're going to lose your remaining phobies. And the 3 keys that you have are not going to be able to supplement to dislodge what Karst has. So while they had a big advantage, and I don't know that 2 murder wing hits are not really going to make the difference here, I don't think. But the positioning could have been different. Like, the... instead of having the Minotaur here... Like, instead of having the Minotaur on the panic point, it would have probably been here. Because that would have been where the snowball was. I'd have to go back and look at it and see where they could have positioned. Like I said, I kind of like the idea of just committing to the push. Because now that your tempo is broken, there's no way for you to recover at this stage. So I think you need to just full commit to the offense, because if your opponent can never defend it, you lose anyway. So I think your only out is to either... You need to peel off sooner to a better defensive position, or you need to just commit and go for it and try to get there. And probably pulling back to a better defensive position would have been more advantageous. Let Karst advance into you. You already have the panic point advantage. If they try and stabilize, you can try and pick a phobie here and there. And just like that, ball game to Karst. Very well played. I would have been sweating it, but it looked fairly clean on that defense. It looked fairly clean. Like I said, I think bad guy had a couple of positional errors in that middle game, but either way, GG. All right. We got one more game for you, chat. One more game, and then I can go to bed, because I'm tired. Let's hope it's not a 50-turn game. Based on the description, it might be. Alright, it's not 50 turns, it's only 29. Exponential Decay, once again tonight. My opponent was so scared of my Poison Phobie, brought out 3 healers to counter, but was still not able to win. Laughing emoji. Remember when emojis were called smileys? A long time ago. So we're back on Exponential Decay. We got a bunch of games on this map tonight. We got a bunch of games on this map. Jammy Fish early added dearh. Why not? Early panic point advantage to our hero. We got the Klepto. Do people still complain about Klepto? Is it still, like, the most complained about phobie? I don't feel that Klepto... I've never really felt that Klepto was that overpowered. I think it would be reasonable to maybe balance the game around the assumption of Klepto, but... Whoa. When was the last time we saw Heartbreaker? I don't even remember the last time we saw Heartbreaker. That's wild. Firkin Leapercarn, quick response there. Wait, can they not... Is Heartbreaker live yet? No, Heartbreaker has a 2 warm-up, right? Because otherwise this would be extremely foolish. Ugh. Dude, I got Chipotle for dinner, and it is not sitting well with me. Like, the way it's sitting in my stomach, like I said, I guess it would be described as heartburn. I've never, like, gone to a doctor and talked about, like, having heartburn, but it definitely, I can feel at the base of my esophagus, like, the stomach acid. And, like, every time I hiccup, it's like, I can feel it's because of the pressure, which I guess I just scarfed it down too fast. I don't know. I was very hungry. I was very hungry. I had to switch it up. I got chicken this time. I think it was chicken. My wife ordered it for me. I just said, don't get the meat that we usually get, because I think it was, like, barbacoa or whatever, and it's just, like, not been good the last few times. It's been really disappointing. Creep going down. Not that I'm ever, like... You go to a place like Chipotle, and it's like, yeah. Yeah. Like, you know what you're getting in there. You know what you're going in for. And it's never going to be, like, an extremely impressive setup. You're never going to be like, oh man, I'm so glad that I got this Chipotle. And diarrhea. I get the build up here while I'm popping off the arm on my Inferno toy accidentally because I'm trying to rotate his bicep and I cannot. Well, it's really his forearm, but... Poison going, bye-bye. I don't love the Paddles Heartbreaker setup. That's just way too many. I mean, okay, so at least Heartbreaker can yield, like, okay, I got a kill immediately, right? Because you go in, you get somebody. But it just feels like a lot of support phobies. Wait, what? Why are we rustying the tickles? I guess just to get it off the table so that we can set up the Russell. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So bad guy can get one of the aforementioned 3 healing phobies on the board right now. Which they probably should. They did not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they only have 6 phobies. They could have put a healer on the board. Which... Oh, Leshy! Alright. Murder Wing going in. Only way it can heal. Dude, I mean, Leshy? Alright. Why not? Probably because it's not very good. But as one of, like, 2 AoE healers... Yo! That's great. Oh, that's a heads-up play. That's a great heads-up play. You firkin the Leshy. Ah, that's so good. You do lose the firkin, but, I mean, even if you lost this game, that would be great. Well, there's the other healer. That's, what? 14 keys? How many keys is Leshy? That's 14 keys worth of healing phobies. That's insane. And you're still have a poisoned hematic Jin Sting. That's crazy. Bad Omen. That's actually... this is hilarious to me. This is a good game to finish the night on. This is a very good game to finish the night on. Now, bad guy's kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. You got like 80 turns before that Heartbreaker comes back up. But our hero does have to get some value in the meantime. And they don't have a ton of phobies to put a lot of pressure on. But if you can snipe a hematic, she'll be up. What's the follow-up here? We're going to juice the other Jin Sting? I don't know that killing Bad Omen is worth this, because you're going to lose both of these, aren't you? I guess the plan is just snipe somebody else and hope? This Heartbreaker should be coming back up, maybe not this turn, but next turn. We got 2 AoE phobies, 3 AoE phobies, technically. You don't even care about... It's just... AoE damage, it's too much. Admittedly, Leshy's probably active now. Down goes Dr. Dermick. 1 by 1. Bad guy's forces fall. Why not? We'll just rustle again. I mean, there's healers, but... I don't know if you can overload the healers. Bad guy's got to advance into you at this point. Sorry, I saw something weird. Thought I saw something weird on the mic. Noxious gonna go down, but it's a 4-to-1 panic point advantage. Bad guy's gotta do something, and right now that something doesn't look like it's enough. I mean, you will be able to get the heal next turn. 5-to-0 panic point. I don't... There's not enough health. There's not enough time for bad guy to do this. Heartbreaker slap. not good enough. I do love Leshy's attack animation, though, or just, like, Wolverine claws pop out. Russell AoE to take down the heart. GG. Definitely a cool game to end on. Well played. Alright, Chad. That's going to do it for tonight. Definitely some fun games. I'm just roasting right now. Like, I don't know why. Like, I shouldn't... It's not that warm down here comparatively. I mean, I guess 80 degrees and 60% humidity is not great, but, like... I gotta get some air. I gotta go to bed. Definitely fun tonight. We'll be back next week. I got one more tournament for the season. I'm not streaming that one. So I just won't stream next Saturday unless I scrub out and I come home early, which, given my attitude yesterday, is not out of the realm of possibility. We'll see. But as always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And tune in next time for more Random's Thoughts.